Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's talk about Gayle King. It was $4,000 she lent to this guy that she dated. Story came out a few days ago. I guess she did an interview on Good Morning America, what have you, and she put it out there. And a lot of comments, going against Gayle about her decisions to break up with the guy. Maybe she didn't understand what he was going through, said the loan made her feel different or whatever. But let's get into the story first, and then I'll give you my take on it, because like for most men, this may hit you, just people in general, it may hit you kind of personal. So you kind of want, try to make the people, the woman who understand what you're going through. So this is from MSN.com by way of page 6, and it says, Gayle King once loaned the guy she was dating $4,000 for a child support issue and a furniture payment. Now, that's kind of odd. You may think like, man, brother down in his luck and borrowing money from a woman, man, that dude he's a scrub, right? That's probably what y'all were thinking out there. But let's get into it. Say, show her the money. Gayle King once said she loaned a man she was dating $4,000 for a child support issue and a furniture payment. Quote, I went on a date and I was really excited about it. We'd gone out maybe 2 months, and he said he really needed to talk to me. He wanted to have a private conversation, she recalls, on a recent episode of the Pivot podcast. Okay. That's when the CBS Morning co-host, who is BFFs with Oprah Winfrey, said he asked to borrow $4,000. Now here's the thing. Those dates y'all went on for the first 2 months, who paid for those? Did he pay for it, or did Gayle pay for it? Because if he paid for it, then it's kind of odd that he needs $4,000. Maybe he's spending his money on Gayle to go out. Maybe he did this as a test to see where her head was at. Never know. You know what Oprah said? God, I would have felt better if he had said 40,000, King quipped. And saying that because 4,000 is like, if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, compared to them, it's small money. 40,000, probably saying, it makes sense because he might have got, like I say, something, a catastrophe or something happened, and he needs the money like real quick. But 4,000 in their world, they probably feel he's mismanaging money. You understand me? She said, so I was so crushed because here was somebody who was making, 6 figures, successful. She said on the Pivot podcast, YouTube/@the Pivot podcast. I was so crushed because here was somebody who was making, just 6 figures, successful, she added. And when I said, could I ask what it's for? He said, yeah, it's for a child support issue and a payment, and to pay a payment on some furniture. King said that he said that her date vowed to pay her back by that forthcoming Thursday. The CBS Morning's co-host said the man paid her back, but the relationship wasn't the same. I wrote the check because I thought it had to be very difficult for him to ask me, and I just figured that would be that, she explained. While the unidentified man did pay the King Charles co-host back on time, which means he paid her back the following Thursday, right? She said the incident forced her to view the relationship differently. I didn't feel the same. It just changed the relationship for me, she confessed. King says it's been difficult to date because men have told her that she's intimidating. Elsewhere in the interview, King talked about how difficult it was for her to date because men have said she's quote unquote intimidating. Somebody said to me once, Gayle, look at your shoes, look at your bag, look at your coat. You're friends with Oprah, she said. A guy looks at that and says, I can't compete with that. But my thing is, it's not a matter of competing. I'm not looking for someone to compete. Here's the thing. You got to understand like the mindset of a man. He may look at you at first with lust in his eyes, want to knock you down, this and the third. But long-term relationship, he want to be the man financially. And even if he can't start out like that, he eventually want to get to that point. So he's going to work his tail off to get to that point. You may, as a woman, make more money than your man does, but he's still going to want to be able to pay the bills. If he can't pay the bills, or at least 75% of whatever the bills, he ain't feeling right. If he can't take care of the home, he ain't feeling right. So, like I say, he's going to try to do his best to get to that point. So if he feel that he can reach it, then he may date you and stay with you, marry, whatever. But if he feel he can't reach you, now he's feeling intimidated because he can't provide like he feels that he needs to. So the broadcast journalist was married to attorney William Bumpus from 1982 to 1993. And the couple split after she caught him in bed with another woman. She said she just wants somebody with a sense of humor, is very secure and not intimidated by whatever all of this is. The broadcast journalist wed attorney Bumpus in 1982. The pair shared a daughter, Kirby, and son William split in 1993 after she caught him naked in bed with another woman in June of 1990. So her divorce took 3 years also. Kind of like your boy over there in Georgia. But let's go back to the loan part of borrowing $4,000. Asked him $4,000. You gave him a check and he actually paid you back on time. I think it was one time I borrowed money from a friend of mine, a guy, and I had something happened to my engine. I was tightening up a bolt and it broke off in the engine. Had to get it towed to the dealership and they said it's going to cost like hundreds of dollars that I did not have. And this is years and years ago. The little Ford Escort. You know, I'm working in the warehouse and I'm making a lot of money. A friend of mine say, hey, I can let you borrow the money, but you got to pay me back. I'm like, sure, oh yeah. So we worked out a plan. I told him I could pay you back this much, so much every week. And I did it. And, end up paying them off on time. No problem. I don't borrow money I don't think I can pay back. But I also remember that there was a young lady that I was dating. She borrowed money from me. And took forever to pay it back. It was like, I don't know. Now I understand she was going through hard times and stuff like that, but shoot, I was too. You know what I'm saying? That we wasn't like living together. We were just, dating or whatever. So, it was a loan. So yeah, I expect you to pay me back. Human's a human. That ain't got nothing to do with man, woman. Just, we got no connection outside of our relationship, then, you pay back. Because if I borrow money from you, I definitely would pay you back. And that kind of played a part in us, separating or whatever, and amongst other things too. But to borrow $4,000 for anybody and to pay it back next Thursday, the people is probably out there saying, if he could pay it back that fast, then why would he borrow it in the first place? Well, number one, talking child support. Child support court is like a car loan at a note lot. As long as you're paying on time, they ain't gonna bother you. It won't go on your credit, nothing at all. But you miss one payment, or you fall behind. In about a few hours, a day or two, they're gonna call looking for it. And they may come get the car. Child support, you fall behind, they putting in proceedings to get a warrant written for your contempt of court. If they do that, now you got all this paperwork, and then you got to go through the whole legal process from a whole different vantage point, and you ain't trying to do that. So if you can just go ahead and get this money right now, and the money is due, maybe Friday, might be doing a couple of days. You don't get paid till the next week, because your plan was to pay it off next week, but they ain't giving you no slack. This child support system is jacked up for dudes. And so they say, no, you need to pay. You got till Monday. Well, you got till Friday at 5 o'clock, close of business on Friday to pay this child support, or we coming to get you. Like, I got the money. I get paid next Thursday. We've extended this long enough. You better pay. We put in jail. Because shoot, that's what they love to do. They love for some reason to see a brother be put in jail into where he can't pay and just continue to rack up charges and interest. So he needed to pay it then. So he dated Gayle for a while, got the loan, and then paid her back. I don't see a problem in that. And Gayle act like a dang payday loan company. I remember years ago I borrowed money from a payday loan knowing that I could pay them back the following week when I got paid. But I need that money, or the next time I got paid. But I know I need that money immediately. It was for like a car repair or something like that. So I got that loan. And they was like, well, if you pay it back within a certain amount of days, then you can never get a loan again. I paid it back before that certain amount of days in full. Did I care that I couldn't get a loan? No, because I'm not planning on doing this stuff again. I'm putting in my work, I'm in my purpose to make sure I ain't borrowing this kind of money again. At all, not like this, because y'all gonna keep a brother broke. So I can see, like, if gotta pay something. Now the furniture payment, that's kind of, I don't know. Just let your that right there. I don't think I would borrow money from anybody, especially a woman, for a furniture payment. Like I said, I can pay you back come Friday. That makes no sense. I think he just put that in there, just like I say, just to see what she would say, to kind of warm the mood up a little bit. Be like, child support, because you tell a woman paying your child support bill, man, come on, dude. That's probably what the problem is. That he had child support and he needed her to help pay it. And yeah, it could be just a whole thing of mismanaging money. But then you got to think about this too. If you only been dating 2 months and dude come at you with $4,000 and he pay you back, I've loaned people money like a couple of dollars. I remember working in the warehouse, working with this guy. He like, man, let me borrow $5. I let him borrow $5. I'll pay you back on Friday. And then Friday come and he's, pay me back. Then here come Monday. Man, borrow a couple of dollars. I'll pay you back on Friday. He borrowed money all the time. But then someone told me, man, this dude is borrowing from you, taking somebody else to lunch, or, buying lunch, buying this for this person. And then, he borrowed from you, you give it back, and he just borrowed it right back. He said he just doing it because he could do it. He said he just playing you. I said, oh, really? So I was like, tell you what, next time he asked for money, I said, I ain't got it. And this dude had the nerve to get upset. And I'm like, dude, I said, I ain't got it. Man, boy, just $5, I ain't got it. Man, just $5. Hell, if it's just $5, then you should have it. If it's just $5, I ain't got it. And I ain't borrowed no money. I ain't loaning no money to him again. And he didn't ask for no more money. He was upset, mad at me, but I didn't care. He didn't know the dude from Adam, and it is what it is. But one thing she didn't say he was a bad guy. She said what just turned the relationship was borrowing that money. And it's kind of weird to me on both sides. But yeah, it's kind of weird to me, man. Because like I said, if she could have said a whole lot, like she talked about her ex-husband, she divorced him because he was cheating. Okay, so that makes, that makes sense. But dude borrowed money and then paid you back. Like I said, he was probably testing her to see what her mind was. And she failed the test, so she did exactly what he thought she was going to do. And she let him go. So maybe he dodged a bullet. Because if you got a woman, you don't want a woman to be fun with the money once y'all get serious. But I don't think money swapping should come that early in the dating process anyway. Not like that. Okay, if he is a 6-figure man, not like that. Not like that at all. But I think Gayle is probably one of the problems in this whole dating market, thinking like that. And what the homegirl said, would have felt better if he had asked for $40,000. Like I said, that's because it might have been more like something catastrophic or something. But the one thing she did say she gave him a check. So she didn't have no problem doing that. And then he gave the money back. So I think it's something more to this story. I don't think she's telling it all, but hey, it is what it is. Bottom line, she's still single. I wonder where that dude is. He's probably somewhere married. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. With that being said, I leave you in peace. Don't forget, marlonmorales.com, and I'll see you on the other side.